Remember when you thought astrology was just your zodiac sign? And you read the horoscopes in all like the teen magazines and newspaper and wherever else, and you were like, okay, maybe that will happen to me. But mostly it was just like, whatever. Sounds weird. But you still were interested, right? You wanted to learn more. And then you would probably, I'm assuming, okay, it's what I did. I would research and research and research about Pisces because I was born under Pisces sun. And most of it made sense. Most of it, intuitive, a little bit psychic, really emotional, sensitive, compassionate, all those things felt like me. That made sense. I was able to work with that. There were some things that didn't track though, like I may have been emotional, but I didn't express it. I didn't cry. No way. And I wasn't like mushy with my affection. And I wouldn't go out of my way to make someone feel better if I didn't feel like it was going to serve them, I suppose, or if it was going to put me out. And I was able to just drop people out of my life with no feelings. Just see ya. You're not good for me anymore. Bye. So I didn't feel completely like a Pisces based on what, my horoscope said. And then several years later, it took so long, I realized that there's a whole birth chart. And I had an Aries moon and a Leo rising, and then all these other things that I could not even touch yet. None of it made sense. But the Aries moon really stumped me. I was like, what? I can't be a soft, squishy Pisces with a tough and relentless Aries moon. I couldn't be both the gentle and the aggressive. That didn't make any sense. So I was just like, nah, I'm not an Aries moon. I'm not even assertive. I can't say what I think. I can't yell. I don't express my emotions loudly. So I just was like, that doesn't make sense. My mom must have said the wrong birth time. And then my Leo ascendant made less sense because Leo wants to be seen and heard and watched. And I felt like that couldn't possibly be me. I didn't want to be in the spotlight. I didn't want to shine. I didn't want to be the center of attention. No. But I'm realizing that was just ego. My ego was like, no, you can't be these things because that will contradict the identity we've created for ourselves, which is very safe. So we're going to stay in it. So anyway, my name is Hannah, and I am an evolutionary astrologer and life purpose coach. And I use your cosmic map to bring you on a journey from your stuckness to your freedom. From, in technical astrological terms, from your south node to your north node, going through your birth chart. I specifically assist and coach mothers who are feeling just overwhelmed and stuck and lost in motherhood to fully embodying their truth and finding their life purpose. If you would like to, you may check out my website, motherevolving.org, and see what I have to offer. Okay, so back to the astrology. So my moon and ascendant made no sense. The rest of my chart made no sense. None of it was in my language, I suppose, until I discovered evolutionary astrology. And it was like, all of a sudden, I was able to speak the language. I was able to read the language. And my chart just started to speak to me. So comment if you use evolutionary astrology, and if you had a revelatory experience when you discovered it. And if you've never used evolutionary astrology, comment what your biggest question is or biggest excitement about what you've learned. And let me know if I'm the first channel you've ever found it on, because that would be really cool. I would really like to know that. And I will comment back. I will, I promise. All right, so the first thing I discovered or dove into, because it is advised with evolutionary astrology, it kind of goes, there's two. So it's Pluto and the South Node. When I found Pluto in my 4th house in Scorpio, I was like, okay, that explains my whole childhood. And just like that, I was able to forgive my mother, forgive my father, forgive my entire family for my childhood, because I realized it's exactly what I signed up for. It wasn't their fault. They didn't do it to me. They did it for me. This is what I needed. Letting go of your past with evolutionary astrology is so liberating. I can't right now, I can't describe it, but throughout the rest of my episodes, I will, piece by piece, describe it with words. It just feels so good. So I have South Node in the 11th house in Cancer, and I will link the video, maybe 2 videos, for you to look at. Finding out that my South Node was in Cancer made all of my feelings about wanting to be a mom all my childhood, wanting to get married and be a wife, and then wanting to be a stay-at-home mom and homeschool mom and just perfect wife, all made perfect sense. All of it. So did my people-pleasing throughout every relationship I'd had, and my desire to take care, and how easily taking care of other people came to me. This is also described in more detail in my other videos, which you already saw the links for. So in the 11th house, that Cancer South Node is all about caring for the collective, for everyone, not just my family or my friends, but like the world. I want to embrace and take care of the world. And in my previous ideas of what I was supposed to do with my life, I kind of got a little bit closer and closer each time. First it was just be a mom. Then it was be a mom and a doula, because I loved motherhood in my 2-3 years of doing it. I loved motherhood, and I wanted to make sure other women felt supported in their birthing process. And yet that wasn't quite it. I was missing something. It was too physical. It was too mental. And I wasn't there yet. And then for a while, I spent my time caring for other people's children so that mothers could go out and do the work they needed to do in the world. And that felt good, but it was not what I was supposed to be doing. I was caring directly for other humans. And that was just so South Node in Cancer. And then from children, I went to adults with disabilities and the elderly. And that felt a little bit closer because it was a lot less demanding than children, but it still wasn't there. When I found evolutionary astrology, I started to put the pieces together. And the pieces were all of my planets, my sun, my moon, my rising, Pluto, the South Node, but most of all, the North Node. So my North Node is in Capricorn in the 5th house. That house is ruled by Leo, which, if you remember, is my rising sign. So my North Node is meant to bring me toward a life of self-sufficiency, confidence, leadership, and in the realm of the fifth house, which is creativity and expression and love. And I do it by embracing all of the things in my chart that beforehand didn't make sense. Okay, so when I realized this, my Aries South Node with my Mercury in Aries, no, not my Aries South Node, backtrack, pretend I didn't say that. My Aries Moon and my Aries Mercury in the ninth house made so much sense. So much. In the ninth house, my Aries Moon and Mercury need to express and initiate spiritual and philosophical awakening. Hi, astrology. Perfect. My Leo rising, I need to express. I need to be open. I need to be seen. In order to do what my Aries moon and Mercury want to do, in order to say it, I need my Leo rising to be comfortable being seen. Hello, YouTube. So, this gets me too excited because it just all fell into place and was so beautiful and helped me. It wasn't even like I was off path, but it's almost like it put up railings along the side of my path. So there's no way for me to stray off anymore. I'm just going. I'm on my way. This video, if you haven't already gathered, is the story of how I found my life purpose. Okay, so I've told you how I realized that my Aries moon was perfect. My Leo rising was perfect. So then let's move on to the seventh house planets. I have Venus, Saturn, and Mars in my seventh house in Aquarius. Saturn and Mars are sitting literally on top of my descendant, so they're exactly opposite my Leo rising. I suddenly was so understanding of how I struggled to be seen, and I struggled to express, struggled even to talk, like super socially awkward all the time. Not all the time. If I was in a place of power or I was the purpose of the talk or I had the information, no problem, I can talk, which makes a lot of sense. If I am the designated center of attention, easy, because my Leo rising is like on it. But in any other situation, Saturn is like, shh, sit down, shush. You don't have anything to say right now. Just sit and listen. And with Saturn conjunct my Mars, it makes me just like scrunch up. And I can't easily do what I want to do. When I make a decision and I decide to initiate something, it has to be purposeful. It has to be something that Saturn okays. It has to be very Aquarius and very seventh house. It has to be about other people, about the collective, about what's the best for everyone. And my Venus in Aquarius explains why I'm able to drop people like they're hot potatoes. The potato heads just go easy. Ruthless, maybe a little heartless, but easy. Thank you, Aquarius Venus. Okay. My 8th house sun. So my sun made sense. Sun in Pisces was me. That it was my core identity. The part of me that was able to be a good friend, be a good partner, be a good person, just hope for the best, love, daydream, but it's in the 8th house. So it's not satisfied with all of that on the surface. My 8th house sun is not only in the house ruled by Pluto, but it is also trine from Pluto. Pluto is trine my sun. So my Pisces sun is a Plutonian Pisces sun, meaning that it may be emotional, but it's not surface level emotional. So I may not be able to show my emotions with crying, but I show my emotions with deep presence. I can sit with you through the most dense and dark situations, and it doesn't bother me. I don't crack. I am there. And I love it. I love going underneath the surface of all the stuff. All the stuff in motherhood, and in marriage, and in your inner child, and in your inner mother, and the dark feminine, and your mother wound. I love it. It's gross, and it's amazing. In addition to that, I have Uranus and Neptune sextile. Sextile my sun. They are in my 6th house in Capricorn. So they are in the house of health and wellness and personal development and your daily life. And they're in Capricorn. So they're about structure and about building. So they are sextile my sun. And they make it so that I can't do the 6th house stuff normally. And it shows. It shows on my whole Pisces, Leo rising demeanor that I'm not like the mainstream mom. I don't do mainstream motherhood. I don't do mainstream marriage. I tried. I can't. I don't do it. And it doesn't make sense to me. And there's a reason. And you're the reason. You are why I can't do things normally, why I needed to find evolutionary astrology, why I needed to discover my purpose. You are my purpose. Guiding mothers through their birth chart under the surface of all of the stuff they're dealing with and bringing them up like the flowers they are and helping you to blossom and bloom like never before is my purpose. And I found it in my chart. And what I'm discovering now, while I'm doing this, is my Jupiter in the 2nd house in Virgo. It's not that I didn't already see it. It's just that I wasn't living it yet. So when I first discovered it, I was like, sure, Jupiter in my 2nd house means I'm fortunate with money. But having it be opposite the house my sun is in meant that all of the money that I was fortunate to have and all the things and all the abundance was other people's. It was things other people accumulated and shared with me. So try I might, but I never had anything of my own. I was just lucky. But I found recently doing this, literally by doing this, you all, I realized that Jupiter in my 2nd house in Virgo demands that I be of humble, simple service in an effort to bring abundance in for myself and my children. And this is it. This is my active service to the world. It combines my Virgo Jupiter, my Aquarius placements, which want to affect the whole collective, my Sun in Pisces, which wants to go hug you in the 8th house, which wants to go under the surface. My Capricorn, Neptune, and Uranus, which want to build off of being alternative. My South Node in Cancer, which loves to take care of people and nurture and have it be on a foundation of motherhood. And my Aries moon and Mercury, which are so excited to express all of this, with my Leo rising, which is just beaming with love, generosity for all of you. All of it is like, they're like signs with arrows pointing at my North Node saying, let's do this. We've got all the tools. We've got everything we need. We know the way. We've got the map. Let's go. We're bringing everyone with us too. If any of this really resonated with you and you're like, I need to do that with my chart, go to my website, motherevolving.org, and register for a free alignment call. I would love to talk to you about what you're looking for. You can also see on my website my offerings. I have an individual program and a collective program, so it's for groups. And they're going to be so good. You're going to love it. It's going to help you figure out who you are and why you are. And that, I don't even know what's more important than that. That makes everything else easier and better. Thank you so much for watching. This has been fun.